It is truly an honor to have him here with us today. So, without further ado, let us welcome Assistant Professor Mac Jerry Agbon Concepcion.
Sound check. Sound check. Thank you very much for that wonderful and very generous introduction, Mrs. Gramay, no? Very detailed introduction. Thank you so much once again. When Mrs. Gramay invited me to be your keynote speaker, I said to myself, yes, basta ikaw. I know Mrs. Gramay because when I was the assistant commandant of SPUD ROTC unit, she was also our corps commander. So, pabay-bay lang ni, pero military minded sad. Ha? Anyway, this is the book of Jose Rizal, his life and works. So, I'm going to read this one later, cover to cover. Is it okay? From page 1 to the last page. Anyway, so, well, when I was a small boy, so much smaller than today, I used to sleep there in the classrooms of Central Elementary School. Because pambato man ko sa Bulog-Bulog Elementary School, I was an athlete and my event was track and field. And then I could vividly recall a gymnastic coach dire, si Mr. Go. I forgot his first name. Ingon siya nako, Mac, dali argon. "Oh, yes sir, luhod. So, gusto niya akong salain iya mo kung paludhon. Sige, gini bata, niluhod ako kay elementary po, grade 5. Luhod ko. Ug iyang gipaud ang akong hawak, ug gibira akong hawak ang likod. Ko, sir. Okay. Sir, unsa po kang bali magahiyan imong hawak? Unsa man imong event? Then I said, track and field. Tsaka dito ra ka, track and field ra ka. Only to find out then that Mr. Go was looking for a replacement kaya ni-absent ng iyang usa ka athlete nga gymnastic. Ko, mo dito yan tuyo. Eventually, si Mr. Ako ang coach sa elementary. Please allow me to reminisce a few of my elementary years. Si Mr. Eustakio ba to or Eustikio, kay Tikio mo ito iyang tawag, Isan. Iyo siya, bak, gano'n man to? Iko, iya man kong papilo no gymnastic, sir. Tsaya wala kay mga biyang tana. Makasaban po ng papa ni mo. Kamu to nga, wala ko kakabadayon nga nahimong gymnastic ato ni Mr. Go. And then, kani siya, ako ning, I was sleeping there, kampaklan, the oval at kampaklan, no? I could vividly recall some of those past years during my elementary. And even when I was in the high school, my dear Sibulanos, some of my friends, my classmates used to call me Rizal. Ilang taon ko na ko Rizal because did you know that Jose Rizal was as tall as me? The height of Dr. Jose Rizal, in fact, he was just 0.08 centimeters taller than me. Rizal, that century's information about his height, 4'11", that's not true. Okay? Rizal's exact height is actually 5.28 feet. Ako 5'2" man. So labaw na siya 8 centimeters. Diba? Anyway, so thank you very much for that, for allowing me to share my past. Now, the gist of my speech, but I'd like to tell a life story about the 3 best friends. Okay? Please allow me to share once more. There were 3 best friends who live in the far-flung mountains of Sibulan. These 3 best friends, shall we name them like Juan, Pedro, and Pablo. And the 3 best friends have decided to go down to Dumaguete City for out of their curiosity to find out how's life there. And so therefore, they wanted to go there. However, they realized that in going to Dumaguete City, the people are speaking English. And that's the problem now. Because they don't know any English at all. And so therefore, they agreed. Juan went to the Hibard Avenue around Siliman University. Okay? And then Juan heard the students there shouting, "We!" Juan said, okay, English na ni. And then Pedro went to the pier. And then at the pier, Pedro heard the stevedores. Kini mga porters pa. Okay? And then the stevedores saying, 1, 2, 3. Siguro kayo, nangaswat ba? Nangaswat ang bugat. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Diningon si Pedro. Okay. English na ni. And then the third one, Pablo went to the Pantawan Boulevard. Susuroy siya dito, no? Susuroy siya dito. And then eventually, he heard the people talking, and someone was saying, yes! Then, Pablo said, okay, English na ni. Finally, the three best friends met along the Perdices Street. And then while walking, and they keep on walking, they found a dead man lying on the street. And then the policeman said, who killed this? One said, we. Are you sure? How many are you? Pedro said, 1, 2, 3. Are you sure? Yes. And then the policeman brought them to the Dumaguete City Police Station for detention. Okay? So, I hope you learn something from it. And why am I sharing that story of the three best friends? What is the moral of the story then? My dear Cebullanos, Dr. Jose Rizal once said, ang hindi marunong magmahal sa sariling wika ay higit pa sa hayop at malansang isda. This serves as a reminder and call to be proud of our own language and culture. Using and understanding one's own language shows love and appreciation of where we came from. In the case of Juan, Pedro, and Pablo, so what if taga-Bukid ka? So what if you don't know how to speak English? Speak in Bisaya. After all, the policeman was a Cebuano, and he will eventually ask you in Bisaya. Dili unta sila mapriso, right? My dear friends, I hope you have learned something from it. And now, let me extend my heartfelt gratitude once again to Mrs. Rosalina Gramay for inviting me to grace this event. I am truly honored because this is a rare privilege to speak in front of you, my fellow Cebullanos. Also, let me greet the following: to our very energetic and powerful Mayor of Cebulan, Honorable Jose Pepe Abiera, Mayor, whose name is also Jose, and so I will call you the national hero of Cebulan. Okay, Mayor? To our ever supportive and very strong Vice Mayor, Honorable Dirkie Fontelo, whose name is of Dutch and German origin. The name Dirk means ruler of the people. And so therefore, I will call you the ruler of the people of Cebulan. The Sangguniang Bayan members, the different heads and section heads of the office of Cebulan Municipal, the barangay officials, SK officials, school heads, and district heads, and other deputy officials headed by Dr. Macrina Villaluz, ADD, of Cebulan District 1. The name Macrina here is also the name of my mother. That's why my name is Mac Jerry. Huh? And Dr. Andrea Luz Ingles, ADD, PhD of Cebulan District 2, business establishments with their representatives present. They are also very instrumental for the town's development. My fellow teachers, students, friends, fellow Cebulanos, and most of all, to our ambassadors to heaven, Reverend Father Romolito Reyes, our parish priest, and Reverend Pastor Elmer Sa, whom I be acquainted with during his time in Silliman University. A pleasant morning to one and all. Good morning! Bang! 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 These loud shots of gun were heard by those who witnessed Rizal's execution at 7 a.m. on the 30th of December 1896. 128 years ago, and every year, we do not just commemorate his life and legacy as a foremost national hero of our country, but also a celebration of our culture, unity, and victory. Thus the theme, let's commemorate his love and sacrifice for the Philippines. I have anchored my message to the theme which I considered appropriate, the one that is printed on our program. According to a renowned writer, George Santayana, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Okay? Now let me ask you this question to check if you can still remember your past. Who was your keynote speaker at last year's Rizal Day celebration? Nah, you cannot remember anymore. Another question. Who was the mayor you voted for during the 2022 national elections? Mayor Inasia, Mayor Pipi Abiera. I would like to also recognize former Mayor Inasia, who happens to be the parent, the father of my former students. All of her daughters were my students before in Siliman. Who was the mayor? Of course. And one more question. Who was the last person whom you have said, good morning? Huh? You cannot remember? You just said it. It's me. Anyway, now on the theme, let's commemorate his love and sacrifice for the Philippines. I would like to remember Rizal's moral legacy and civic virtues for our daily life. Fellow Cebulanons, you should remember your keynote speaker today, not for the upcoming elections, because I forgot to file my COC, but because you should be inspired by the message. Hopefully so. Who said ho and who said so is very important to us, because it is where we can follow the path of these great men who walked before us, like Dr. Jose Rizal. Your keynote speaker today may not be considered great, but what he will be sharing to you is even greater. Now let me contextualize Rizal's moral legacy again for our daily life. Jose Rizal laid down at least 24 moral principles and several civic virtues, but I will wrap it up into 5 key moral principles only. Although he was primarily a reformist and writer, he was also a man of deep moral convictions and principles that guided his life and work. His writings, his speeches, and actions reflect his adherence to the following key moral principles. First, love of country. Rizal's life was dedicated to the betterment of the Philippines and the fight for freedom from the colonial rule. He believed in peaceful reform and education as the means to achieve national progress. His novels, Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, called for justice, equality, and an end to oppression. Today, we are called to continue loving our country and recognize the importance of education as the weapon to fight for justice and equality, especially in the equal distribution of our national wealth and resources. Second, education and enlightenment. Rizal valued education as a total for personal and societal liberation. He believed that ignorance breeds inequality and that knowledge empowers individuals to challenge injustices. He emphasized that education should be accessible to all and foster critical thinking, moral values, and a sense of duty to society. Today, our government has already fulfilled on this by giving free education in the K-12 program up to college, is already cognizant of Rizal's ambition of an education for all. Third, human dignity and freedom. He championed the inherent dignity of every individual and the right to freedom of speech, thought, and action. Rizal opposed slavery, oppression, and all forms of tyranny, arguing that freedom was essential for human and national development. When Rizal demanded that a person be given his freedom or made free, he did not necessarily mean political independence, since even with the colonial context, he stressed the necessity that a person be free within the system. And when he wrote that man was created by God, was not created by God to be a slave, he was in his own way saying that man was born free. But if he found himself unfree in our society, it was due to the nature of certain societal and political institutions. Fourth, self-sacrifice and service to others. Rizal believed in putting the greater good above personal interest. His willingness to sacrifice his own life for the country's freedom exemplifies his principle. He encouraged others to serve their communities and work for the welfare of the nation. Today, the government's whole of nation approach is a testament to this. And the young Filipinos are called to engage themselves in the community voluntarily. Doing volunteer works in any organization is today's manifestation of self-sacrifice and service to others. For example, in my case, I am an active member of the Philippine Army's Reserve Force component. This is a volunteer work. I am not paid. The Army Reservists of our province are not paid. But when we render humanitarian assistance and disaster relief and rescue operations, the impact is there. The sense of fulfillment of serving our community voluntarily is there. And there is no price or no money for that in return. You are very happy. In fact, yesterday, my comrades, my fellow Army Reservists, assisted in the giving of relief goods to the affected areas of Mount Canlaon. By the way, let's continue to pray for our brothers and sisters, especially those in the affected areas of Mount Canlaon. I think my voice now is louder. Last, the fifth, faith in humanity and God. While Rizal was critical of the abuses of the church during his time, he was a man of deep spirituality and faith. He believed in the goodness of humanity and the existence of higher power guiding moral behavior. When he was studying in Madrid, Rizal assured his mother of his trust in God. When his sister Olympia died after childbirth upon his arrival in the Philippines from Europe, Rizal remarked, "I console myself, saying that it was the will of God, and what God does must be the best." See? Very nice. And so to the Filipino youth today, I urge you to have faith in God and love our God with all your minds and with all your hearts. Please, please do not declare that you are an atheist. Many of our youths today are self-proclaimed atheists, or at least they claim that there is no God. Why? Is it because of the internet? Is it because of the AI or the so-called artificial intelligence? That you think that with technology everything is possible? That internet or AI is a human intellectual invention. That human intellect is God's gift. It is God's gift. There are a lot of there are a lot of fake news in social media, and therefore we are called to be very careful. And these fake news are very deceiving, as if it's true. Isn't it? Only God, through His Son, Jesus Christ, is the whole truth. So in closing, my fellow Cebulanos, I would like to say that let us not fail the hopes and dreams of our national hero. Let us continue and encourage others to emulate these moral principles and civic virtues. Hinaot paunta. Daghang salamat o mabuhi kitang tanan.